Hey, hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we'll discuss next part of our video series. So what we are going to discuss here. So today we will discuss Spark job optimization in the Databricks. So in that the one of the method like broadcast join. Using the broadcast join, so we can optimize our Spark job and it will be help to boost the performance. Okay. So in Apache Spark, broadcast join is an optimization technique that significantly enhance the join operation, involve large data set and much as smaller one. Okay, so understand here if there is a very large data set and we have the very small data set, so it will be like help here. It achieve this by broadcasting distributing the smaller data set to all the worker node in the cluster. This eliminate the need of for expensive data shuffle across the network, leading a faster and more efficient. When we'll do the broadcast join with the smaller data set, so we will join smaller data set with the larger data set and it will get optimized our job. So why broadcast join is matter? Reduce the network shuffle for get radius and the resource intensity data movement between the node. Broadcast join distribute the smaller data set, minimize the network traffic and improve the overall processing speed. So these are the advantages we have. In memory computation, by residing in memory on each node, the broadcast join allow for lightening fastering operation, further accelerating your Spark job. Screw data optimization. So in our next upcoming video, we'll discuss the screw data. So just here understand the name. So definitely we'll cover that in the next part. So broadcast join are particularly beneficial when you are dealing with the screw data scenario where one data set is significantly smaller than other. This allow you to leverage the smaller data set in memory presence of efficient join. Understanding the broadcast join in the daily life. So if you are not understand the broadcast join, no worries. So we'll give some example in the daily life. So it will help us to some correlate. So before that, jump into. So we'll understand like why broadcast join is the important for the small data set only, why we have to implement and how, why not in the bigger data set and related to the efficiency, memory distribution. So all this like okay. So let's understand why broadcast join work best with smaller data set. Smaller data set in a broadcast join, Spark send broadcast to the smaller data set to all the worker node. This way, each node can perform their join locally within the partition of larger data set it node. And the efficiency for small data set broadcast is efficient because it's avoid the network overhead and process the delay causing by the shuffling of the data across the node memory. Each node must hold the entire small data set in memory. So if data set is too large, it could causes the memory issue. So slow down the performance. That's why like the broadcast will help for the more suitable for smaller data set. Why aren't ideal for larger data set? Maybe get question. Why aren't? Why not? For larger data set, broadcast join we should not use. Memory limitation. If data set is being broadcast in large, it can exceed the memory limit on the worker node, leading the failure of slowdown. Okay. And the network traffic. Broadcast large data set increase the network traffic and can be negate the performance benefit and avoiding the shuffle. Okay. So these are the some disadvantages. Because of that the broadcast join it is not suitable for larger data set. Optimization of the larger data set. For large data set broadcast aren't ideal because of the memory and the network constraint. Instead of large data set join, shuffle join are used where both data sets are split into partition distribution across the worker node. Optimizing the broadcast join. Filter early when possible, filter early, reduce the size of the data set, therefore, or like the before join, only broadcast smaller data set. And adaptive query execution in Spark 3.0, AQE can dynamically switch the broadcast join with it detect that the dataset is small enough, optimizing the performance. So the summary here is broadcast join optimization performance for the smaller dataset by avoiding the costly shuffle, but for larger datasets, shuffle join are more suitable to handle the scale efficiency. Okay. So we have given the some more detail on the broadcast join. So let's understand the taking some of the real example image or imagine. So like understand, like just think you are a librarian managing a vast library, large data set. So library is the large data set. Understand. You need to determine the which book have one prestigious award. So the smaller data set is the award data set. Okay. Instead of meticulously searching every shelf in the library, you make multiple copies of the award-winning book list broadcasting and distribute them to the every librarian across the different session. Now each librarian can efficiently check their respective session against the list, avoiding the time consumption search across the entire library. Here is the analogy breakdown. Okay. So library is the larger data set, award winning is the small data set, distribution list, broadcasting. Librarian in the section, worker node perform the parallel processing. Broadcast giant is the action in the Databricks example. Okay. So here like we will just understand broadcast giant prove to be optimal choice. Okay. Small data set in memory. The small data set must be small enough to fit comfortably within the memory on each worker node, typically less than few MB. Larger versus small data set join. The technique is most efficient when you are using the larger data set with a significant smaller lookup table, minimizing the shuffle. If you are aiming to avoid the network bottleneck and the resource intensive data shuffle across the network, broadcast join is your choice. Okay, broadcast join advantages drastically improve the performance. Broadcast giant delivers significant performance against by avoiding the unnecessary data shuffle, especially when deal with the smaller data set. Okay, enhance the efficiency by optimizing the data movement. Broadcast giant optimize the resource utilization and enhance your Spark job overall efficiency. The Spark code example. So the PySpark, we have written the code. How can we implement the broadcast join? So writing the simple code, we have tried, like I have tried to explain. So we are just importing the some of the libraries. After that, we are initiating the Spark session here. And after that large data set, we have created the large data set, we have created the small data set. Now applying the broadcast join. Let's understand here how we are applying the broadcast join. Result if you go to data, larger data frame, join, broadcast join, smaller data set based on the currency code. So this way we can implement. Okay, display the join the data frame, show using that. The key point broadcast join function enable you to broadcast the small data set to the worker node, empowering the each node perform join locally and efficiently. Thank you. So hope you understand the broadcast join, how it will work, so and where it is suitable. So let's jump into the next video. We'll understand on the other part of this. Thank you.